Hi, I'm Simon. Welcome to another video from Habas Kitchen. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make banana oat cookies. So this is a very simple recipe. You can literally make it in minutes. There's just 3 ingredients, which are 2 bananas, a cup and a half of oats, I'm just using porridge oats, and half a cup of chocolate chips. As you can see, I'm just using a bar which I'm going to cut up myself. So before we get started, we need to do 2 things. Firstly, we need to preheat the oven. That will be 180 or 160 fan assisted. And secondly, we need to prepare our tray, a baking tray. You can either use baking paper or parchment, or as I'm going to do, just rub some coconut oil on the surface of the tray, and that stops the cookies from sticking to the tray. So you just rub it all over that flat surface and just where you're going to put those cookies. Okay. So to start with, we need to mash up the bananas. Let's just move this out of the way. So obviously just peel those. And then you can just literally do this by just mashing them with the back of a fork. It's as easy as that. You just press it down. And that's done. So do that for both bananas. Okay. No need to be too thorough with it because obviously you're going to mix it in anyway with the rest of the ingredients. So that's the bananas ready. So for the oats, I'm going to take our bowl. So it was a cup and a half, which is about 135 grams. I'll drop them straight into your bowl. And then for the chocolate chips, as I say, you can find some vegan chocolate chips. That's good. I find them quite expensive, so I tend to just buy this Dr. Oetker. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but it's dark chocolate. I use the 54%, and it's definitely vegan. It's classified as vegan on the label. It uses soy instead of dairy milk, so that's really good. It also comes in a 72% cocoa as well, which is a little bit more intense. Depends what you're using it for. So I know that this is 150 grams, this bar, so I need just over half of it, which is 90 grams or half a cup. So I'm just going to take a knife and literally just cut it into little chips myself. And obviously if you know of any sort of reasonably priced chocolate chips, I'd be interested to know. You can always comment in the feedback section. As yet I haven't come across any which outprice these bars of chocolate. I use this Dr. Oetker for all of my baking. Okay, that's cut up. So that's all cut into chips, just roughly chopped really, and ready to go in. So now those 3 ingredients are ready, you can just drop them all into the mixing bowl together. And then just take a wooden spoon and just mix them around. So you have to give it a good stir. Obviously the banana is a little bit thicker than most fluids that you're probably used to baking with. It just takes a little bit more effort just to stir that and really combine it. But before long it just starts to properly combine and form like almost like a dough. Sort of sticks together in one blob, and that is ready to be put onto the tray. So you can see the sort of consistency we've got there. It's all sort of combined, stuck together and ready to mould. So I usually find I get 6 to 8 cookies out of this, which doesn't sound a lot, but for considering what ingredients you're putting in, it's pretty good. It's really cheap. Obviously there's a couple of ways you can do it. You could try and measure the weight if you want, sort of put them on some scales and then divide them equally. I just prefer to just get my hands a bit mucky and just pick a ball out at a time. So I've got it into a ball, then I'll just flatten it down and put it straight on to the tray. And obviously the smaller you make them, the more you'll get. Obviously the idea is to just keep them similar size, keep them all similar size so that they bake evenly. And it looks like I'm going to get 7. So this is an ideal sort of base recipe if there's sort of particular things that you like in cookies, like cinnamon for example. You could easily add those to this. Just sort of, I would say, half a teaspoon at a time if you're experimenting. You can just add those, try it, see if you like it, and then add other things. Instead of using the chocolate chips, you could use cacao nibs for that sort of raw chocolate. It's a little bit more, you'd want the sweetener in there as well I think if you use that, but it would work. So they're ready to go in. I need to rinse my hands. So I'm going to put those in there, so the oven is now preheated and they're only going to need 12 to 15 minutes, so you're just looking for the edges to be just to start to go a little bit crispy, maybe a little bit brown. Any more than that, then they'll start to get too dry, so you want them a little bit moist still. And remember, when they do come out, they will probably look undercooked. They'll still look a little bit too moist, but they'll sort of toughen up as they cool. So there you have the banana oat cookies. So you need to let them cool for at least 10 minutes, I'd say. You could always put them in the fridge if you want them to cool quickly. The good thing about letting them cool is the chocolate chips actually sort of solidify, whereas if you try to eat them now, it'd just be sort of runny chocolate. Depends on your preference. So I'm just going to leave those for 10 minutes. So once they've cooled for a few minutes, they'll be ready to eat straight away. But if you're not eating them straight away, they will keep in the fridge for a few days. They're ideal to keep in there just as a snack for after work or after school, just to keep going until dinner time. So that's it, that's the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you have a go at it yourself. If you do, leave any feedback in the comment section. Please also remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you in another video.